a new YTP from CS188, and it's the sequel to Innie, Outie, Innie, Outie. Well, in the name at least. Doesn't seem to be. Seems to be what Algae now. Algae is always greener. SpongeBob. So, let's see.
Just believe me, don't watch.
The ultimate green energy is being grown in Wooster, Ohio.
Yes, that the preview wasn't Twitter.
Ohio is grown, but with enough water, Ohio can be entirely water. Ohio. The ultimate green energy is ultimately energy, but the ultimate green energy can be grown in Ohio. Grown nestly underwear. Oh, jeez.
When I bought this underwear, they were white.
Walk into Dr. Phil's mad scientist lab, and you might just think you've uncovered a mammoth. Glass tube
With the one and only ingredient. A mammoth.
bubbling with a bubbling substance. This is the tube-based stuff. This is the stuff 1940s horror and sci-fi movies were made of. 1940s horror. But what is happening here is actually fucking boring.
It has the potential to create jobs for the people of Ohio.
He's here to do it all over again.
And do it all over again.
Yes!
What we do here
Is do it all over again.
we're trying to get very high. What we do is we take waste streams for multiple sources. Say, has hole. It has the potential to
CO2.
at the end of sources. Say, has hole. It has the potential to.
Is it something there? Nice puppet romantic.
CO2.
At the end of these cycles,
You get nothing.
Whether you call them an algae farmer or
Phil.
or technology farmer
Phil.
or farmer or friendly farmer or oil farmer, what we're trying to do is take the algae and extract the oil from the algae and take the leftovers and waste it to feed my large ass. Or not. I'm not. And you'll see waste material from my ass. We're then going to extract the oil from the waste material, so we end up utilizing all of the poop and use it to feed the algae.
I mean, you know, that's basically manure. So, makes sense. Does algae take manure? I mean, they are plants, right?
Use algae. So we end up closing the loop, or not. So
I'm not. Okay. Yeah, let's give that a white joke.
So this is a great process.
Do you believe in the have this nonsense?
It can be a thing.
No.
There's many things you can make from algae. Plastics, rubbers, and you can make, I think you can make nutraceuticals.
What are those?
And you can make algae.
This is actually unopened.
The other thing that's interesting is it was an open question whether you could actually grow algae in this part of the country in this kind of climate. It was an open question
Yes.
whether you could actually
Is that
climb the algae.
The reason I climbed your algae was to get Ohio's attention.
Ohio is sort of unique in that it's got a lot of very wonderful things. The first one is it's got a lot of garbage. Secondly, it's got a lot of nothing, and it's got a lot of
things to do in Ohio? One, Wizards could do what was to leave.
flatland. It's got a lot of water, and it's got a lot of water on the top of the water. Ponds of this size could lose 5 guys, so we can.
Gee.
This is the stuff light green substances are made of.
A lot of people think, oh, you should be in the South. I think you're going to find a lot of sexy people in the South.
Algae can be used for production of energy.
One nice thing about my large sea.
Research low.
as it grows really, really fast. Anywhere from 24 to 48 inches is
Absolutely huge.
we can have thousands of gallons of seed.
Actually, what is happening here is I just touched films remarkably very dead. Dr. Lee discovered that making out with a light bulb is actually quite energizing.
Work on about few. I think right now.
This subtitling is actually quite racist.
Is it? I mean, maybe his accent is difficult to understand. You know. I don't understand your accent. No. Sometimes I don't understand what British people say, you know, if they make too much, you know. And I should look at it because it's what making me.
Film partners with Dr. Lee. Together, they are developing lazy technology for efficiently growing fish. Film just thinks they are developing
Growing fish is important, you know. But the fish population is running out.
innovative technology, but what is happening here is actually Dr. Lee's developing a Ponzi scheme.
Ponzi schemes of this size, that's just 500 size.
What?
As it turns out, Dr. Lee's Ponzi scheme is actually quite a linkle.
We're then going to take industrial biohazard material and we send that over to Dr. Lee. And Dr. Lee's going to die. There's no doubt about it. Deceased.
Alright, his name is Lil with L-I-L.
G.
Wait, that's the foundation repairs, guys. Do it all over again. So they switched from foundations to burials, eh?
Very nice headstone.
We're trying to be as environmentally friendly as we can. So we're taking Dr. Lee's leftover body and we send that over for anaerobic digestion to grow algae.
This project is an integrated process.
The anaerobic digestion process is one where you take and produces.
As it turns out, this is the stuff pizzas are made of.
No.
Unimed product. As it turns out, there are no scientists at work in Ohio. Just this night. Perhaps one day they will be harvesting stinky. And we can say it all happened right here in Ohio.
Algae.
And algae.
I get it!
Algae. What effect that has, because all of those variables.
Just poke a hole in it.
Ohio.
Great as always. Great as always.